Hey guys, Keith Duplessis here for Extractomat. This is a product that we've sold for a long time, and as you guys know, in the market today, there's a lot of competition for mat washers. So we want to give you a quick tour of the Extractomat and run you through the features of it, just so you have a nice tour and understanding how it works. First thing we're going to talk about is the controls. So we have a start, stop, and then we have a multi-control for cleaning the mats. You can run them dry, which is the center function. You can run them on carpet shampoo. This injects shampoo into the water, and then you can run it as a rubber mat cleaner, which is basically just a water rinse when you run the mat. Start button starts it up. Stop button. We have an emergency stop on this unit. It's just to slap the button, just like we have on all the car wash equipment that most people are used to. In order to release this, we got to just turn the knob to get it back out, and it'll reset. If it's pushed in, unit's not going to run. When it's out, unit runs. This unit is set at a factory time of 2 minutes of run time. The timing is adjustable, and that's up to you, but we set it at a 2-minute run time for factory. That's so the unit doesn't get abandoned and continue to run. Sometimes that's a problem. Otherwise, it'll run for 2 minutes, and then you just got to hit the start button. Every time you hit the start button, it will reset the 2-minute timing clock. So real simple there. These units come with casters. You can choose to put them on or not. They're in the box. They're just a 4-bolt lock on to the bottom, one for each corner of the unit. So the unit can either roll in and roll out, or it can be stationary like this, and you can even mount it to the ground. So let's take a quick tour of the externals of the machine, then we'll do the inside. You notice you have a catch tray down here. This is where the mat falls and is returned to you. Nice part about that is you feed it in the front, you get it in the front. Okay. Around the back, and we'll just kind of come around this way and we'll take a look. We have a couple of connections. The first one is our power connection. So this is going to run a 30 amp 120 volt unit. So single phase power. It's wired in, and it just has a plug. We'll take a picture of the plug for you so you guys can see the exact plug that comes with the unit, so you know what to put into your wall.
You name it L5.
But you guys can change that if you need to, so it can be a 3-prong or 4-prong depending on what you're set up for. The next thing we want to look at is the water feed line. Designed for a 3/4 inch water feed line, this unit is actually hooked up to a garden hose today just so we could do a little demo because we're here at the shop, we're building them. But normally you just hard plumb this in to your 3/4 inch water line. It's got a nipple on the back end. We'll show you that on the internals. And then the final thing is the drain line. It's a 2-inch water drain line. You can run it into your tunnel reclaim. You can run it into your sanitary sewer. You can run it wherever you want as a wastewater dump out. It's a gravity feed, so once water comes through the machine, it gravity feeds out of the unit. So while we're on this side, let's go ahead and just take a quick view of the internals here. So this is really our water systems. In the water systems, we start with the inlet valve. We have an adjust ball valve, so we can adjust water flow if we have a lot of street pressure. We run through 2 manifolds. Now, the cool part about this is when you turn it to a water only, or the rubber mat function, it's going to allow water to flow through. If you do it on the shampoo, it's going to go through the DEMA valve, automatically inject your chemical into the water, and then you're running shampoo in the soap. These are your pulleys and drive motors. Basically, it's a single drive motor. Drives the entire unit. Everything is pulleyed and chain run on the unit, so it's very simple to work on. You'll see there's some spring tensioners in here. We'll get into the rollers in a second. So let's run around the electrical side, shall we? So we come around the electrical panel, and this is a really clean side. So you can see just all the linkages that continue to make sure all the rollers run in sync. Down here in the electrical panel, we have an IDX timer. This is a standard part for us. This is where you can set and change your timing. You can change your run times. You can change all the different functions that go with that. And just a standard 30 amp breaker. So pretty simple stuff here, easy to replace. All the wiring's nice and clean for you guys. Really pretty simple. Beauty is we're making this thing right here in the USA. So that's a huge part of this. Final thing I really want to look at on this unit, which is really cool, is inside the cover. So inside, if you reach your fingers in, when it's not running, okay, you're going to get a spring bar. This is the spring bar. That'll release this upper register. We've got a steel roller that compresses the mat down, so as it feeds through with the rubber grabs here, this is actually your feed roller. It'll pull the mat through. Mat goes over the brush, turning at 400 RPM, and then pulls through the rubber roller, which will act as a squeegee, force water off the mat. And then you really can't see it, but there's an airfoil here that acts as a vacuum foil, and that's going to suck the dirt and the remaining water off the mat before it goes out the exit. Now the cool part is the vac motors obviously have an exhaust, so we've rerouted the exhaust into the back of the unit. This is kind of a cool thing. And right back here, you can't really see them, there's some vent fans. Those vent fans here are actually the exhaust. So not only are we sucking the water off of the mat, we're vacuuming it up. So there's another run operational video that we'll show you that you can click on the site that shows you how to just feed a mat through and what it does. But we want to give you a quick tour so you know what you're looking at and what you're getting. 16 gauge stainless sheet, all made in the USA, brush made in the USA, bearings and components all made in the USA, sourced in the USA. We don't have supply problems as far as getting materials. So if you're looking for a great mat washer made in the USA by a United States company, check it out, the Extractomat.